If you have ever Googled what is branding and walked away more confused than when you started, you are not alone. Brand, branding, brand identity, visual identity, logo, these terms get used interchangeably all of the time, even by people in the industry. And when everything sounds like the same thing, it's really hard to know what you actually need and where to start. So today we are going to look at the anatomy of a brand. And to do that, we are going to use something I call the brand blueprint. Now, the brand blueprint is a visual framework that shows the layers of a brand and how they all fit together. So, the outermost layer is the brand. The brand is not something you design. It is something people feel. It is the perception, the reputation, the gut feeling that someone gets when they think of your business. It is what people say about you when you are not in the room. You cannot fully control your brand, but you can shape it. And that is where everything else comes in. So, one layer in is branding. Branding is the process. It is the ongoing, intentional work of shaping how people perceive your business. Every decision you make, what you say, how you look, how you show up, how you communicate, that all is part of your branding. A lot of people use brand and branding interchangeably. I am also guilty of this, but they are not the same thing. Your brand is the result. Branding is the process of how you get there. If we go one layer deeper, you get brand identity. Brand identity is the system of elements that express and communicate your brand. It has two sides, an intangible side and a tangible side. We covered this in a previous video, but just to go over it again, the intangible side is what most people do not see, but it is also the most important part. It's your brand strategy, the foundation on which everything else is built upon. It includes your mission, vision, values, target audience, competitive advantage, brand personality, and brand voice. These are not nice to haves. They guide decisions and shape every single thing your brand does and says. Your strategy provides the foundation and direction. Everything else is built upon that and expresses it. The tangible side is what people actually see and interact with. It includes your visual identity, your website, marketing materials, packaging, your physical spaces, if you have them. Now, there's something worth noting about your brand voice. It is intangible in nature and it lives on the strategy side, but it shows up in tangible places like your website copy, marketing materials, social media captions, and this is actually a great example of how the two sides of brand identity always work together. So, within the tangible side of brand identity sits your visual identity. Your visual identity is how your brand looks. It is the design system that makes your brand recognizable everywhere it shows up. It includes your logos, for one, colors, fonts, imagery, graphic elements, and just the overall design style. Notice that your visual identity is not the same thing as your brand identity, it's a part of it. And a very important and very visible part, but still is just one part. And your visual identity does not come first. It is built on your brand strategy. Who you are, what you stand for, who you're speaking to. Those decisions shape how your brand should look, not the other way around. Now for the logo. The logo is an element inside your visual identity. It is the most immediate visual mark of your brand. The thing that people recognize first. And it matters a lot, but it cannot carry the whole brand on its own. A logo without a visual identity is a mark without a system. And a visual identity without brand strategy is design without any direction. And branding without a clear sense of what your brand actually stands for is just decoration. Every component has its place. So let's bring it together with the brand blueprint. At the center is the logo. Around that, you have your visual identity, which contains, in addition to your logo, your colors, fonts, imagery, and design style. Around that, you have brand identity with your visual identity and the other tangible stuff on one side and your brand strategy on the other side. Around that is branding. That is the ongoing process of bringing it all to life. And around everything is the brand, the perception that people have in the minds of your business. None of these layers exist in isolation. Your logo reflects your visual identity. Your visual identity is part of the tangible side of your brand identity. The tangible side is built upon the intangible side of your brand identity, your brand strategy. And together, these tangible and intangible elements form your brand identity. And through branding, these elements are expressed consistently across every interaction, every experience, shaping how people perceive, experience, and remember your brand. I hope this helped to clarify the anatomy of a brand and where every piece fits within it.